Grandma used to tell me you don't know where you're going unless you know where you came from. If you search it diligently, it'll make a better you. Yeah, I'm sitting on the pew with a stone face, listening to this preacher, what a disgrace. Something feels so different from what I heard yesterday, from an Israelite along the way. An Israelite along the way. From an Israelite along the way. Tell me who I am. I've been searching for so long, I don't understand. Everywhere I seem to go, people shake their heads at me. Tell me what is going on. Someone hold my hand. Please tell me who I am. Tell me who I am. Tell me who I am. As I begin to read the scriptures, it all came together for me. Someone's been lying through their teeth. They've been misleading and twisting prophecy. I can see that my people is at the bottom of the barrel. I see myself the more I read it every hour. I can see things more clearly, the wretched part of me. Is it me? Is it me? Could it be? Could it be? I can't believe. Can somebody tell me? Tell me who I am. I've been searching for so long, I don't understand. Make me understand. Everywhere I seem to go, people shake their heads at me. Tell me what is going on. Someone hold my hand. Please tell me who I am. I think I know now who I am. I got some understanding. I know now who I am. It's so sad, man, that someone can come and just steal your entire identity. Even a thief and a robber needs something. Can somebody tell me? Can somebody tell me who I am? I've been searching for so long. I don't understand. Everywhere I seem to go, people shake their heads at me. Tell me what is going on. Someone hold my hand. Please tell me who I am. Please put me back together. Please tell me who I am. I know that we messed up, but how? Please tell me who I am. It hurts to see. Please tell me who I am. They weep. Please tell me who I am.
YouTube, what's up? What's up? This is your brother Orlando with Keeping It Simple. How you all doing this afternoon, YouTube? I said that I was gonna try to come to y'all at least once a week on things that you might need to think about when you're coming down to prepping or surviving, or just being able to make sure that you can be able to survive in any situation. So last week I talked about five essential things that I thought was very important, which was an iPod, a Bible, a road flare, fire starters, radio, and one more other thing I forgot. But this week I want to talk to you about weapons. I want to talk to you about your weapons and your ammo. But let me read a scripture, and then I do a prayer, and then I talk about the weapons and ammos, about what will be a good option. I can't tell you what will be a good option for you. I can only ask you to make a judgment on what you think would be best for you. If you had to leave your home and you had to take your essentials, what would be the best thing for you? But let me read something real fast before we dive into it, because a lot of people may not believe in weapons and things of that nature, which is quite alright. We all have to respect each other in their thought process. But let me read something. And it comes out of Luke 22:35. And he said unto them, when I send you without purse and scrips and shoes, lack ye anything? And they said, nothing. Then he said unto them, but now he that has a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that has no sword, let him sell his garments and buy one. Buy a sword. Okay? And the reason it says in verse 37, it says, for I say unto you, that is it, that this that is written must ye be accomplished in me. And he was reckoned among the transgressors. For the things concerning me have an end. But I want to talk about verse 36, and I'm going to go to Exodus chapter 2, Exodus chapter 22 as well. It says, Luke 22:36, he said, and then said he unto them, but now he that has a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that has no sword, let him sell his garments and buy one. So the Most High was telling his disciples to go sell your garments and go buy your sword. Okay? In Exodus chapter 22, and I'm just going to read verse 1 and 2. Okay, Exodus chapter 22, verse 1 and 2, and it reads, if a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. Verse 2, if a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. Okay, verse 3, if the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him, for he shall make full restitution if he have nothing. Then he shall be sold for his theft. But verse 2 says, if a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. In Exodus chapter 2, it's talking about if a person breaks into your house and the person who lives in the house defends his house and kills the guy or the person dies who comes into the house. The person died because of the man protecting his home. There will be no blood. The man will be innocent. So we have to understand that the Most High always talked about it's okay to defend yourself in the process. It never means to go out and antagonize and start anything. But it is okay to protect and defend yourself. And today I'll be talking a little bit about if you had to leave your home, what weapon would you take if you have any weapons? What would be the ideal weapon? And things of that nature. And I'm going to compare bullets, because we also got to understand that whatever bullet we have, if we're going to just pack a bug out bag and we have to go, those bullets have weight on them. And we have to think about, if we're going to leave and take something with us, what bullet or what weapon would be appropriate to take in that process. Okay? And first I'm going to start off with the 22. The 22, this is a 22 long rifle bullet. Okay? It don't weigh much at all. It's a very small bullet. This big right here is a very small bullet. And it goes into a 22 long range rifle. So if I had to leave and go somewhere, and I wanted to carry a weapon, and I'd say, okay, hypothetically, I'm going to carry my 22 long range rifle. This is the bullet that I'll be carrying. with me. This is the size bullet that I'll be carrying. But a lot of the times, people look at the size of the bullet because they look at the testosterone of a man. Or I gotta have something big because I need it because I'm big. But in actuality, when you start to think about preparing and just preparing, you always have to think on a more logical scale. You can't necessarily think from the testicle perspective, because sometimes when you think from the testicle perspective, you make a wrong decision. So I just showed you a 22 long range rifle bullet, which is this big. Okay, this is the 22 long range rifle. Okay, this is it. So if I had to carry 400 rounds of a 22 long range rifle ammo, I only need a box about this big. If I had to leave my home, and I said hypothetically, I'm going to take this 22 long range rifle, okay, this size right here will give me 400 rounds of bullets. Is that durable for me to be able to put into a bag, in a bug out bag, and be able to take with me to be able to go? Because I can use my 22 long range rifle to be able to do things, to be able to, I can shoot animals with that range, that bullet, to be able to help me to survive out there in the wilderness. I also can use it to be able to protect myself. So when we're looking at it, is it capable of knocking down certain animals? No, but it is there to be able to help protect and defend yourself, and you can also be able to hunt small game animals. Okay? Now let's go with a 38 bullet. This is a 38. This is a 380 bullet right here. Okay, if I had to go and I needed to take a weapon and I only had certain bullets, and I had, say hypothetically, I had a 380. This is the size bullet that I have that I be taking with me. Okay, and a 380 weapon, it goes into a holster, and this weapon here do not have a magazine in it, and this do not have any rounds in the chamber, no magazine in it. So this is my Smith & Wesson 380 EZ. So this is the size weapon I would use to be able to carry on my journey. This is a 380 Smith & Wesson EZ. So this here, we use this type of round. This type of round right here. But when you look at the box that it comes in, it only holds 50 rounds. This box right here holds 50 rounds, so that means that my 380 ammo is double the size of a 22. It's double the size of a 22. But it will have a much greater impact, but it also at the end of the day does the same thing at the end of the day. That means that if I take my 380 with me, I'll be adding double the weight into my bug out bag, or into my bag that I have to leave the home. Okay? So I'm just bringing out ammo, and whatever weapon you have, whatever decision, whatever you decide to do, whatever you have, that's fine and dandy. The Most High put it on my heart this week is talk about ammunition, because you may have to leave your home, and you may have to need a weapon to be able to protect you as you travel wherever you may go. What weapon will you take? I just showed you the round of a 22 long range rifle. I just showed you a round of a 380. Okay? Now, here's the round of a 9mm. The round of a 9mm is just a little bit bigger than a 380 round. Okay? But it's bigger than the 380 round. But and when you carry over, say, the same amount of, say if you want to carry 400 rounds of 380 or 400 rounds of 9mm, the 9mm will outweigh the 380 rounds. So when you're looking at it, okay, yes, I may be able to carry 400 rounds of 9mm, which is just a little bit bigger than my 380, but almost triple the size of my 22. Would it be big? Would it be best for me to carry that 9mm? Even though you may be able to go anywhere and ravage or be able to savage or find 9mm 380 rounds anywhere in anybody's home that carries a weapon. Okay, but this here, this is my, it don't have a magazine in it nor a round in the chamber. This is my Glock 17. So when you look at my Glock 17 and you look at my Glock 17 and my EZ, my 380 EZ, you can see that my Glock 17 is much bigger than my Smith & Wesson 380. So that means that I'm gonna be carrying if I decide to choose to carry my 17, that means that I'm gonna have more weight that I'm gonna be carrying in my bag, because my Glock 17 is much heavier than my 380. So when we're looking at it, is it worth your 380? I mean, you carrying your Glock 17 compared to your Smith & Wesson EZ 380. Okay, so now here I got some Federal right here, 12 gauge buck shells. Okay, I don't have my 12 gauge with me, but this is a 12 gauge buck shells. So when you look at the box is very similar to the 9mm in the 380. But when you look at the amount of rounds that you can carry in the amount of rounds that you can carry in this box compared to the amount of rounds that you can carry in the 9mm box, you can only get 25 rounds in this book in the 12 gauge. You can get 50 rounds in the 9mm and 380. So when you're thinking about that, yes, you can be able to shoot a lot. You can be able to have your 12 gauge for a lot of different things. Small game, you can use it for a lot of different reasons and purposes, and it's helpful. But the amount of rounds that you'll be able to carry with you will not be much, and you have to be very strategic on how you use that and use your weapon. Okay. Also, this is a 223 round. 223 round. Okay, and then you got to think about it. If you have a 223 or 5.56 rifle, are you gonna be willing to carry that? Because the round is quadruple the size of a 22. It has much stopping power. It's used in the military. It's a very good gun. But the amount of weight that it will use, you will have to carry that, is it worth carrying that with you? And I want to be able to say, whatever your choice is your choice. I'm just doing what the Most High asked me to do. I'm just putting it out here because we have to think in a strategic manner, because he told them to go sell your clothes and go buy a sword. So that means on your journey you're going to have some conflicts that you may have to defend yourself from. Whatever, you may have to get you some food. So when we're looking at the 223 or 5.56 round, it's much bigger than the 22. It's much bigger than the 3.8. It's much bigger than the 9mm. But it has a more of a knockdown power than either one of them. And it has in the 5.56 and the 223 can go much farther out in distance and more accurate. Okay, so when we're looking at let me see if I can hold this, put it on this thing here. when we're looking at the 223, the 5.56, the 9mm, the buckshots, and the 5.56 rounds, what we're looking at is the size of these rounds. Okay, we're looking at the size of these rounds. This is 22, this is the 380, this is the 9, this is the buckshot, this is the 223 and the 5.56. Okay, we're looking at the different rounds, but all of them has the same capacity of wounding or hurting someone, or hurting an animal, or doing what you need to do. So if you had to be able to leave, and whatever weapon you choose to have, I don't know what it is, and that's not my concern. It's just me bringing this out to you, because I said I was going to start talking to you more about on preparing this, and as well as the word. So when you are preparing and you're thinking about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, you need to start thinking more on a logical scale, more so than anything else, because that's going to be very important for you. You have to think very logical, and what's going to be more beneficial for you in the long run, especially if you're not walking, if you're not exercising, if you're not getting your body in shape. Will you be able to, say hypothetically, walk 2 or 3 or 15 miles with, say, 25, 30 or 40 or 50 pounds on your back? Would you be able to walk 20 or 30 miles with that on your back, with a weapon and all that other stuff? And you have to think about that. Are you able to do that? Because like I read to you last week, that we may have to go into the wilderness, wherever the wilderness may be. And if we have to walk to the wilderness, how much are you going to be willing to be able to carry on your back as you travel to the wilderness? So I just showed you. I'm going to show you again. You got a 22 round, you got a 380. You can see the difference in the size. And you also got to understand the difference in the size also going to add up to the difference in the weight. You look at the 12 gauge, you look at the 222 and the 5.56. So you got to look at all these and see what bullet and what weapon will be conducive for you to be able to use and carry with you for your protection on the way to the wilderness. Okay, I just showed you. This is, let me make sure the weapon is clear. It's clear. Okay, this is my Glock. This is my Smith & Wesson 380. This is one of my smallest weapons. Would this be conducive for me to have in my holster with my 380 rounds to be able to take with me? Okay. No round in the chamber, no magazine in the weapon. This is my Glock 17. Would this be conducive for me to be able to take with me on my way to the wilderness? And I could be able to use it the way I need to use it. And it won't be too heavy for me. Okay? This is my 22. This is my 22. This is the AR Platform 22. This is my AR Platform 22. Will I be able to use this to be able to take with me on the way to the wilderness? Would this be too heavy for me to be able to take with me going to the wilderness? Okay? Okay, this is another weapon I have of mine. This is my AR Smith & Wesson. This is my AR, a weapon that I put together myself. This is an AR platform pistol. Okay, will I be able to take this with me to shoot my 5.56 or 223 rounds out of it? Would this be conducive? Will I be able to hold up and be able to carry this with me along with maybe a handgun or so? But will I be able to carry all those rounds? Okay? And another weapon I just purchased the other day, a couple of weeks ago, is a long range AR. This is a this is a rifle here. So what I want to use this long range rifle, this rifle here, to be able to take with me on my journey along the way down, going down to the wilderness. So when you're thinking about this, because we have to get ready to understand that we're getting ready to, a lot of things getting ready to happen in the United States and just globally, and we have to have that preparedness mindset. Okay, what will be conducive for me be able to take with me, say if I had to go to Utah. If I had to go to Utah and I live hypothetically in Kansas, what would be good for me to take from that journey there to Utah? Will I be able to make it? What rounds would I need? If I had to leave Georgia and go to Tennessee or Kentucky, will I be able to make it? What weapon would be good for me? Because, you know, you have a lot of people don't buy 20 or 30 rounds, 20 or 30 guns, but if anything goes bad and they have to leave their home, they can't take the 20 or 30 guns with them. So you have to think about what weapon would be conducive for me, which weapon I'm more accurate with and comfortable with, which one that I think that I will be more successful with. Because you also got to think about, you can get bow and arrows and you can get a lot of other weapons that do not carry bullets to be able to utilize to help you go deer hunting, or you can go get a bow, you can go get whatever it is to be able to help you utilize weaponry. So when we're in this process of thinking about preparing and buying land and doing all these things here, or if you have to go from one destination to another, you got to also have in your mind, you know, what weapon would be conducive for me to take with me along my journey. Because I know that I can't carry all of them. So which one would be better for me? And only you can make that decision. No one else can make a decision like that for you, and can't nobody criticize anyone for whatever weapon they choose to carry, because what's good for me may not be good for somebody else, and what's good for somebody else may not be good for me. So you have to, I want to leave this with you about what round or what bullet would be good for me to take on this journey, because, or what weapon would be good for me to take on this journey, because I have to have a preparedness mindset. We always preparing. Whether we're preparing to go to the kingdom, be in a new kingdom, whether we're preparing to go to work the next day, whether we're preparing for college for a final exam, whatever we're preparing for a wedding, whatever we always in a preparation frame of mindset. So when we understand that, we got to make sure that we're making the right decisions in the moment of our preparations. So I just like to say that concludes it, but I just wanted to leave something on your mind today about if you had to go somewhere and you're looking at the ammo, and I didn't even bring out a 7.62 round, I didn't bring out a 5.7 round, I didn't bring out one or two more other rounds that maybe at the 6.5 Creedmoor. I didn't bring out any of those, and those bullets are much bigger, except for the 7.5. So when we're thinking about all of that, we have to really understand, okay, what would be conducive for me? What would be, if I came across some more ammo, what ammo do I think would be likely that I would run across? So we have to put all that into our thinking and preparing stage. Okay, so I just wanted to bring this to your attention today, because I talked to some guys at work and they gave me a lot of good feedback, and you know, it's a hard decision that whatever we make, and even leaving the house, we don't want to leave the home, but prophecy got to be fulfilled. So if you did have to leave the home, which one would you carry with you? And you can only make that decision. No one else can. And next week, what I'll be talking about is water purification. I want to talk about water purification next week, on how we can have water purification, purifying water, and is it good to do other things like that. But I just wanted to come to you for a few minutes this evening about preparing. If you had to leave, what weapon would you carry with you, and to make sure that you carried the right one that was comfortable for you. Amen. So I'm gonna leave. This is a song from the brother who I like a lot on YouTube. His name is The Songs of Shemites, and I just let you listen to the song. Unless you know where you came from. If you search it diligently, it'll make a better you. Yeah, I'm sitting on the pew with a strong face, listening to this preacher, what a disgrace. Something feels so different from what I heard yesterday, from an Israelite along the way.